Hello, everybody on the Master Sha Tao Center Toronto Facebook page, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so grateful to have you here. This is Heart and Soul Talks, and we have a very special guest here who you can clearly see with me, and this may be your first time connecting. But I'm very honored to introduce to you our guest, who is a global volunteer at the Master Sha Tao Center Toronto, a Tao hands practitioner, and much, much more, which we are going to get to in our time together here today. So without further ado, let us welcome Eun Ji.
Thank you so much, Alexia. Thank you to the Toronto Center for having me. Super happy to be here and to be with everyone here in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us here. And for everyone watching, we welcome you to please share where are you joining us from. And if you have any questions throughout our time together, or if you have any sharing about anything that we connect on, we would love to hear from you. And so, Eun Ji, you are absolutely an inspirational soul on so many levels just throughout your journey. If I may briefly share before we get into it, I remember meeting you at a cafe in downtown Toronto this one special day. And I just remember like you had this like sparkle, and it was just one of those days like running around the city and busy, 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 and all these things happening, you know, interacting with people and, you know, just so much happening. And I remember meeting you and just feeling automatically like this peace and like, who is this person, right? And I recall that day that you because on this end it just paused, but I
Yes,
saw, yeah, it was just paused there for a second. But I saw that, and you said, you know, and we're going to this meditation for healing hands. And I thought, healing hands? Wow, like I've never heard of this before. And that really, for me, was like the start of our connection and also the start of my connection with the Master Sha Tao Center Toronto, and then carrying on through connecting with Vanessa Ferraro, who I knew really was like played a pivotal role in introducing us to many of these teachings, and also to song and dance, which we're going to get to, of the soul. And so, you know, you really inspired me on that day, and you really opened my heart just with your presence to exploring these alternative modalities. And so I would love to learn a little bit from you on how did you get to that place, and kind of what was your journey, your healing journey, or your spiritual journey that kind of took you to discovering the teachings and the wisdom of the Master Sha Tao Center in Toronto and Master Sha. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that really takes me back. I remember that day too, that fateful day at that cafe. And yeah, I just remember meeting this beautiful soul, and we just kind of had, you know, a chance to chat a little bit. And yeah, I explained that, you know, I'm a healer. I go to these classes and train and practice with healing hands. And I remember your reaction starkly just being like, wow, whoa, whoa. And just like even talking about the applications, like, yeah, you know, you can do the healing in person, even remotely. It's really amazing. And so many applications. You're like, whoa, whoa. And like, I don't know if I've seen such an enthusiastic, open-hearted response to that. So it was such a blessing to meet such a beautiful, open-hearted spirit on that day. So I remember that day, and thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I guess that also takes me back to the time when I even just started in this journey. I, in my head, consciously wasn't really, you know, thinking of, um, let's say, out there kind of healing or different kinds of spiritual development. Really, just in my own personal life, I had experienced so much illness. And it was an illness that lasted for like 10 years. So it was really chronic and really severe. And later on, it was diagnosed. It was diagnosed with like fibromyalgia, So that's kind of on the spectrum of, it includes chronic fatigue kind of symptoms, and also includes kind of like chronic pain type of symptoms. And it was debilitating. At the worst of it, it was debilitating. And I was bedridden. Like I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't talk. I couldn't sing. I couldn't there was just so much pain compounding within me at all times. And it was really crazy. And just being on that journey to first, like, A, understand what it was, and B, receive the proper kind of treatment that actually worked was a long, long journey. And so, I tried all kinds of methods, whether it was with the, traditional, just regular mainstream medicine, and went into alternative methods, which helped a bit. And but the thing that really, really opened me up was the techniques and the practices and, the sessions, everything that's offered through the Master Sha Dao Center and through Master Sha's, teachings and healings and techniques. And one of the big moments that really awakened me to that was when I went to a meditation. You mentioned her before, earlier in the introduction. Beautiful soul named Vanessa Ferraro. Some of you may know her. So she was hosting a meditation, and, we were already in a very good space, and it was this lovely guided meditation, beautiful, relaxing music. And then she started singing what I know now is her soul song. And I remember just lying down there, already being in a good space. She started singing this soul song, and I was going, what is that? It just sounded so magical. I had never heard anything like that. And even more than just, the oral sounds, it was the feeling that I received. Just that sensation of opening and upliftment and light. I was like, wow, this is magical. I have to know what this is. So I approached her after, and I was like, Vanessa, what was that? You have to tell me. And and she said, that was my soul song, and you can actually learn how to develop that through the Master Sha Dao Center. And I went, okay, sign me up. I'm going. And then the week after, I just started to go to these sessions where, amongst other things, with soul song and other kinds of very special techniques were introduced. And just being in that healing field did so much for me. I remember within weeks, like, yes, it was chronic pain, chronic fatigue. And within that, it was just like a very weakened immune system. So there were just like lots of issues, one of them being digestive issues, and that I had experienced. And it was so bad that I actually was taking like prescription medication. It was really strong, and each pill was $3. So imagine every time you eat, it's like, I need $3 to not feel pain, And so, so that was like a whole thing. And so that's where I was at that point. When I had started going to these classes, these healing classes at the Master Sha Dao Center. And I remember after like, I don't know, just a few weeks, I realized that I didn't necessarily need them as much anymore, the prescriptions, the pills, and just kind of more naturally, I was starting to feel just lighter and just more comfort and ease within my body. And I would notice this later on, but definitely, just like more of an ease and an inner peace as well, which is huge to healing, because as we know, holistically, our emotions and our physical self is very interrelated. And I'm actually currently studying TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, right now. So that's a huge component when we talk about, physical health, like what emotions are associated as well. And that's a huge part of these teachings that are introduced here at the center. So anyways, just to bring that all in, I just experienced so much healing, and a big part of that was definitely soul song. So definitely experiencing that from another person. And then came a time when I was finally ready to bring that out of myself. So I love music. I love singing. That's why I reacted that way when I heard that like amazing sound in music. But, it was more so like I loved writing. I love listening to all kinds of music. And I actually really love the genre of soul music. So when I first heard like soul song, I was like, oh, is that like soul music? Is this going to be like a weekend, like Motown workshop, like where we all jam out together? Like that sounds fun. And sure, we can do that. There have been times when, we've gone into that, sure. But really, mostly it's connecting to that very sacred essence and sound of your inner heart and innermost being. And that's something that I didn't even know existed out in the world. I actually recently read an interview with an artist, a musician, a singer-songwriter, composer that I really like. And she was talking about how even though she may not like identify as spiritual, how she is very inspired to make music by sacred spaces. And she was talking about how she often visualizes this beautiful sacred space and people being in there and just singing out their soul. And I was like, if only I can reach out to this person, because this totally exists here and now. And yeah, so bringing that out, and you go to like special courses and workshops, and there is special training for this in order to bring out your soul song. And so I went to this, and I think one is coming up this weekend, actually. It's going to be a celebration of soul song and heart dance and soul dance. So definitely keep your eyes posted for that. But I remember in that moment when it first came out, it was so exhilarating. It's like, I'm often in my mind. It's like a very normal human thing. It's like I had just kind of floated and connected into this deep inner space that I had never connected with before. Like I thought I knew my heart. I thought I knew what my innermost parts of myself were, but this brought me deeper, much, much deeper. And it was just such a celebration, and it was so freeing and amazing because, like I talked about before, during my long period of illness, it was actually very painful to sing. And this was a huge passion of mine, a huge love. So it was painful to have my voice gone, like my literal voice gone, on top of, like metaphorical voice as well, right? And so I felt like that was just such a huge opening to finally have my voice back, and not just back in the way that I knew it to be, but in a way that was very deeply connected to my innermost essence and truth and heart. And when we connect that deeply in that way, in my experience, it just allows for this beautiful channel to connect more purely with, outer sources of love as well, to higher sources of love, higher sources of connection that I had no idea even existed prior to all of this. So it's safe to say that all of this has just been so life-changing with the healing programs and with, expressions of soul song and discovery. It's just been an incredible time since then. And I do have to say that, since I've been, coming to the center, coming to the sessions, and really implementing the practices and techniques for myself, I no longer have that condition anymore. I'm not chronically fatigued. I don't have debilitating pains. I can get up and get out of bed. I've, I started working, and, I'm back at school now, and I just have this really beautiful, fulfilling life. And I just have so much to owe to what the center offers, to what Master Sha offers, and I'm truly, truly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Eun Ji. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, and so much beauty in your sharing, and just really like this journey of transformation and of using these practices, these tools, and these techniques to heal and to transform, and like you said, live a fulfilling life. And you're blossoming and flourishing in this most beautiful way, and you feel it in your heart as you're sharing, and it's an embodiment of the teachings and of the wisdom and of the practices. And just for anyone who's watching, we have a few programs, like Eun Ji mentioned, that are coming up really soon. So February, we have the Wellness Boost. And I know we've both done this program. It is so next level. And we're going to have it monthly all of 2021. And so you get to do daily practices and really receive the healing and the nourishment and the support consistently throughout the month that you need to just get to the next level of wherever you're at. And even if you feel like you're in a beautiful place, then it's perfect for prevention and for raising your frequency and your vibration. So we have the wellness boost. And on Saturday, I know we both registered already, we have singing and dancing from your heart and soul with Cher O'Rourke, one of our certified leading master teacher healer practitioners at the Tao Academy, and Henderson Ung, who are both very, very, very powerful healers, Tao song, Tao dance practitioners, and much more. Henderson's going to be joining us from the Master Sha Tao Center in San Francisco. So we're very, very blessed to have him present. And we'll be able to join together and really learn to sing and dance from our heart and our soul in a whole new way. And to just complete our time here together, Eun Ji, if you are open to it, we would love, love, love. I believe that we would. If you're watching, please share in the comments that we would really love to hear your heart song. And I know that every time I hear Eun Ji's heart song, my heart just opens so much. And I'll never forget the first time being in a meditation and you started singing, and I literally opened my eyes because I was like, where is this sound coming from? Like, that can't be a human. But it was, and it was you. And it was so blessed. And so I know I would very much appreciate that. And I see Tatiana, Parvane sharing that they would really enjoy that as well. And just before we transition into any more sharing, Tatiana says, what a beautiful story, Eun Ji, heart-opening to hear, inspiring to participate and explore what is possible. Thank you so much, Tatiana. And More Lessness says, yes, please. And we see a cat riding a unicorn in that picture. So we know we're soul family for sure, for sure. So we love you and thank you for sharing. So without further ado, I'd love to hear whatever you'd like to share with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, wow. When you said all of that about, the reaction to hearing soul song, that's literally how I feel from your soul, from other people's soul songs. And, if you're not familiar with it, definitely welcome you to stay. And I would love to share this with you. And if you are familiar with it, then even more amazing. Great. I feel really inspired to, connect with my soul song right now and really connect with the intention of joy and opening your heart. So I will begin by connecting, and I would love to share my soul song with all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, 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 Yamanaseya, 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 Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Eun Ji. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Please share. How was that for you? Thank you for sharing your beautiful soul song with us and just sharing from your heart and your soul, you know, your journey and everything that you have experienced that's brought you to now. And more has shared with us. Wow, phenomenal. Thank you, Eun Ji. What a blessing. Yes, 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 absolutely. Just feel so much light, so much peace. I know in my heart, and I hope that everyone watching and trust that everyone watching does feel some shift as well in our soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. And so for everyone watching, we encourage you to join us this Saturday. Come and sing and dance from your heart and your soul. You know, whether you are someone who enjoys singing and dancing or this is new for you, you have a heart, you have a soul, and you have a heart and soul song and dance. So thank you so much, Eun Ji. Do you have any final words before we close our time together today?
Oh, this was just such a special time with you and everyone here. And I just want to thank you and thank you to the Toronto Center for just having me here, for allowing me to share my story. And just so grateful for everything, all the healing and all the support that the center has offered me thus far. And yeah, just really excited for people to discover this for themselves if they're looking for either alternative forms of healing or just, you know, a fun way to really connect really deeply within yourself with soul song, with soul dance, with all kinds of love and light and community. Would highly recommend coming to the workshop this weekend. And yeah, just checking out all the offerings that the Toronto Center offers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. And until we meet again, much love and light. And we look forward to seeing you this weekend. And we are always here Thursdays at 1 p.m. for Heart and Soul Talks. And also Wednesday evenings on our Facebook, we have Experience the Power of. So you'll be able to learn more about a lot of the practices, experience the power of them as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, Eun Ji. See you all very soon.